as we keep putting out more and more facts, updates we're picking up from across the world and in India, we also continue putting out some expert voices. We continue to get you the best voices from around the world on questions on coronavirus pandemic. Joining me on the broadcast, Dr. Subodh Bhuchar. We lost that connection with you, sir, this morning. Dr. Subodh Bhuchar is a pediatric specialist based in Texas. A very good morning. It's bedtime for you, though in Texas there, I'm sure. But appreciate you joining us this morning, doctor. Let's start with the very basic question most of the parents have at this point in time. How is it that they should work on their child's immunity, boost the immunity to fight the pandemic?
Yeah, good morning. And that's a good question. Generally, there are no medicines to actually boost anyone's immunity. Some of these vitamins that people talk about, they are pretty much myths. A good lifestyle is what is required for anyone, whether they're adults or children. Same thing for a child, a good healthy diet, good exercise regimen, keeping them busy and active generally. Now, as far as the COVID-19 is concerned, we've taken a little bit of a different approach. Obviously, we want to use the same social distancing that we do in adults in children also. And I think that's exactly what we need to do to make sure we avoid any kind of catastrophes in little children. The good news, however, is that as you've seen, children, for some reason, which we still don't understand, there are researchers doing some research on this, is why is it that the number of children that we have is much less as opposed to the adults. And whenever they are sick, they're not as sick as are the adults, especially the elderly. That's a mystery that we're still trying to discover, whether it's some immunity that has been imparted to children against viruses, less exposure maybe. Maybe there are certain receptors in their lungs that do not accept the virus. It's still a mystery, but we're hoping it'll be solved.
Absolutely. And as for the healthcare industry across the world, doctor, it's a little overwhelming right now. And in that sense, as for United States is concerned, what's the pattern that you're witnessing around you? Are there more online consultations which are taking place, especially for children? Parents are reaching out to doctors via online mediums, or is it more, going to the hospital and consulting them?
No, absolutely. I think it's just not for medical facilities, but look at the schools. Most of our schools, all our schools are closed in USA, and all of them are on online tutoring, which is amazing. As far as the medical industry is concerned, yes, most of us are doing online consultation. We're trying to make sure that we talk to the parents, and if the child is sick, once you talk to the parent on the phone, you get an idea of how sick this child is. Most of the children, we are asking parents to keep them at home, avoid the emergency rooms, which themselves become a source of infection to children especially. And we kind of triage them on the phone to see who is very ill and who actually needs to go to the hospital. We try not to send them to the hospital unless they really need to go there.
And when is it that the parents must pick up the hint that this probably is the right time to reach out to the doctor, or this probably is a step beyond what could be a normal flu or regular flu, and in that sense a consultation is important? What is that mark that one needs to identify to be able to consult? Yeah.
Right. Both the flus, the regular flu and the COVID-19, have pretty much overlying symptoms. Although we have a medicine for the regular flu, we don't really have anything that the FDA has absolutely provided for an outpatient treatment. Hence, we always tell the parents that if a child has very high fevers, is persistently vomiting or looking dehydrated with diarrhea, or having shortness of breath, is getting confused, having difficulty breathing, is turning blue or pale, those are serious conditions. We ask them to either call the ambulance or go to the hospital. And we prefer them going to a pediatric hospital where good care can be taken of these children. Again, the good news, however, like I said, was there are fewer children that
Yes, yes.
I said there are fewer children that get into serious trouble as compared to the adults, young adults or the elderly.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Before I let you go, Dr. Subodh, one last question. How is it that people
Sure.
in the United States are viewing the total lockdown which has been imposed by the government here? And do you think, as for United States figures are concerned, because they're on the rise, we've seen more than 7,000 casualties already, New York being the epicenter, do you think a total lockdown formula will work there and also be it'll also be a relief for the healthcare industry there in that sense?
Well, that question is loaded because it's just not the medical part of the question. There's an economy that goes behind that question also. A total lockdown will be a total lockdown of the economy also. So I still feel social distancing and as much as of a lockdown one can do is preferable, especially in cities which are the epicenters. As you see in New York, there have been so many deaths and almost 100,000 have been infected. All over USA, as you saw, there were quite a few, over 7,000 deaths already. And there are certain areas, New York, yes, Illinois, California, Florida, those state governments and the state governors have already announced that there is a lockdown, except for essential folks like the industries, as you already know, the fire, the police, the army, the healthcare, and transportation, pharmacies, and grocery store. The best part that I've seen is there's a absolutely orderly conduct amongst the citizens in the United States, whether you go to a grocery store or you go into the pharmacist. There's no pandemonium, which is very, very important in making sure that we can tide this over in the next 3 to 4 to 6 weeks. We don't know how long it's going to take. So when we come out on the other side, we'll learn
yes,
much more about this and be prepared for next year.
Yes, certainly. We leave it at that, Dr. Subodh Bhuchar. Many thanks for joining us on Republic Media Network, taking our questions as well, addressing all of those concerns, especially as far as parents are concerned, because they have a long list of instructions prepared for their children and certainly are panicking at this very moment. I appreciate you joining us. Also, thank you and stay safe.
Hi everyone, I'm Sucharita Kukreti. Thanks for checking out Republic World. If you would like to watch more show highlights and live coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the Republic World News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.